Hello, I am Stylus. Welcome to hello. I haven't read the script yet. Hello, this is Stylus from Ethernautica, and I play Daisuke Hana. I also run a number of games on Novelty Stylus Gaming, and I use the pronouns male, female. Today, we are playing Mutants and Masterminds. Today, we're playing Mutants and Masterminds to raise funds for Geeks and Grandeur. Geeks and Grandeur is a fantastic charity for that enriches the days of hospitalized children through cosplay, pop culture, and gaming. If you can, please donate at www.roll4change.org. That's roll4change.org by clicking the donate button. Today, I am joined by my players, who I will let introduce themselves, starting with Kim.
Sure. Hi, I'm Kim. You can find me on Twitter at MOS_tricks. I am also on the Misfits of Space podcast, as well as the Redacted Files occasionally.
And let's just call him Patrick. That's his name.
Hello, everybody. This is Patrick. I am the Dungeon Master on the Misfits Guide to Adventuring podcast. You can find me at Professor PFM on the Twitters. Yeah.
And also Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm at Alex J. Holt on Twitter, and I do art and talk about geeky stuff a lot, mostly.
Okay, so let's get started with the premise of the game. I have for a long time wanted to run a game that's based inside of the SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect fandom, which is a difficult thing to actually describe. It's kind of like if you were to run a wiki based on paranormal concepts and all of it documented as government reports. It sounds very dry, and usually it is, but it creates an interpretation for creativity that is, so far as I've seen, unparalleled. And it is a collection of thousands or hundreds and thousands of of writers and artists creating for a common, a Creative Common wiki. And this game is going to be focused on such an event in the lore. And we are going to be using Mutants and Masterminds because it is one of the only concepts. Superheroes are one of the only concepts that I've found that would really let players accept the scope of what is capable in this game. Dungeons and Dragons kind of doesn't reach where you would want to go with this. There's too many. This is it's not a kind of game for beginners. Connection is unstable. Wonderful. I get these overlays on my stream. I hope I'm still talking to people. Okay.
Yep. You're good.
Excellent. So let's get started. There were four. The three of you do not know each other. You are, all of you, people of interest. You have been leading normal lives, connected to people of the government, connected to people of political influence, or just living a normal life. No one knows. You don't even know why you are in the current situation you are in. You all of you come to in a daze. It's like you're drugged, you're drunk, you're numb. It's almost like a waking dream. You have this lucid feel, but you can't move. There are people above you. It looks like a shadowy figure kind of hovering over you. You see a light, somebody's flashing something in your eye, and there are voices. They sound kind of warbly, like through a filter. One of them says, "You want to feed one of them to these people?" And you feel your mouth being opened. It's like, which one? Well, you hear another voice off to the side. How about, oh man, we've already used licorice. Dang. What else? Oh, the trick cereal's gone. Okay. And you hear somebody shaking like a cardboard box that sounds exactly like my alarm clock. You hear somebody shaking a cardboard box, and similar to something you've heard with like full of candy, and you see them lift one up, and it says, this one says ozone. Where did we get these things again? I don't know. They kind of just materialized in the other room, and that seems normal to you. I don't know. Just put it in their mouth. The other group seemed fine. The other group, the one guy who turned into a rabbit. I mean, like a literal rat. Is it eating through the wall? Yeah, for the past hour. It's fine. This will be better. And you feel something go down your throat. Tastes sweet. But then there's a strange aftertaste. Chemical. You feel something change. Your light fades. And then you hear what sounds like an alarm. It's like, well, what is that? I think it's a breach. Oh God. I just shoved some more of these into the other guys. We'll deal with this later. And one by one, each one of you all laying up. You can't see just being shoved down your throat, and then you're covered. Go off. People leave the room, and then the pain comes. Sometimes pain. Sometimes just feels strange. Patrick.
Yes.
Let's start. No, excuse me. Kim, let's start with you. Who were you before you were on this table?
I was Monica Peters. I was the daughter of a prominent.
Hello, am I still here?
You are. It just took a little while for your audio to catch up with us.
Oh, okay. I'm not used to this yet.
No.
Okay, so who were you before you entered this onto the table?
I was Monica Peters, a young woman with a young daughter. I taught, I suppose, kindergarten. I'm the daughter of a prominent Southern senator. I decided to move up north to actually get away from his influence. And the last thing I remember is going out during a wicked snowstorm in order to obtain medicine for my daughter. And then there were these humongous headlights, and that is the last thing I remember.
You don't feel too different. There was this moment where you felt this strange growth of just something pressure building up on your chest. Your hand instinctually went over to that pressure, and you felt something lift your hand off of your chest, something solid, something plastic. It literally felt like it was being pushed out of your body. And then you don't know what happened. For hours you were just sitting there. Our alarms blared for like forever. And then suddenly you're able to move. What do you do?
Well, the first thing I notice is that apparently I can see. My eyes work a bit better than they used to. And I wonder where my glasses are, but I try to move my arms. Am I tied down?
You are not. You find that you are wearing a very loosely, a very loosened, like a loose facsimile to what would be patient's clothing in a hospital. And there is a cloth over your face.
Oh, well then,
And
noticing
actually
my
your whole
eyesight is
body.
not the first thing I notice because there's a cloth on my head. So I reach up and I move that cloth away and I take a gander in my surroundings.
You are in a room. There are two other tables that have what look like people on them. One considerably more oddly shaped than the other. They are you see them. They seem to be rustling. There's slight movement amongst them. And do you go to the larger one or like? Oh well, this would be up to you. What would you like to do with this? You are the first one awake.
Is the box of crazy candy around here anywhere? My first concern would be what happened to me, I think. And then I would be checking on my companions.
The honestly, all you see are a number of papers on a desk next to a door. The door looks like it is thick, heavily. It seems heavy and reinforced. There is looks like a small window at the top left, but it is shadowed, like it's tinted black. You can't really see through it. And above it says, you see a number, it says 13-testing 2 above it, written in stenciled black letters.
I hate hospitals. And I will walk over to the nearer of my companions who I will assume is the larger fellow. And I'll say, hey, hold on there, big buddy. I'm going to remove this cloth from your face, and I do not wish you to react in any kind of manner unpleasant towards me. I did not do this to you, okay? Are you ready?
Patrick, you hear somebody above. What is your character's name?
My name is Clifford Banks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clifford, you hear somebody above, like outside of this tarp, this cloth that's been covering you. You vaguely remember the moments before its gift was given to you. You remember something that tasted like metal, sweet metal, if such a thing could exist, but such a thing has offered you a gift. And somebody is calling to you from beyond the veil, literal veil over your face. What do you do?
I'm just gonna start like moving my hands. Can somebody let me out of here, please? Please, please, somebody. Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. So that's not a voice in my head. That's a real person.
If you hold still a moment, I can prove I'm a real person.
That'd be great. I have these voices in my head.
Does Clifford have a hand that I can grab?
Yes. And I'm going to say, just for fun, I would like you to choose high or low.
Hi.
Okay. Let's see what comes up. All right. You grab what looks like a hand. There is a long protrusion, probably about 3 feet at least. That seems like seems to be holding a stick. You grab for his hand, and he sits up, and you see that he is holding a sword. And when you see him, he looks like a man, but his features are metallic, head to toe. There is, it's like he is completely made of a very high shine, very chromy kind of metal. But he's moving. You look close, you'd swear that you can actually, stick a magnet to this guy's face. He's the metal. It's so real. It's like a statue. It's come to life. And you are holding, like between you and the cloth, he is holding a sword in what looks like a death grip in his right hand.
Ah, what? Oh no.
I can see my face in you. I'm sorry, that was rude. My name is Monica.
My name is Clifford.
A pleasure.
Yes. What? Can you please tell me where we are?
Apparently, we're in 13 testing C. I'm not entirely certain what that means, but I think we're in a hospital of some sort. There's another fellow over there who seems like he might also be in the same sort of sorts that we are.
Oh no. As I look at my body, am I wearing clothing or am I just like full on like
You have like a
Mercury
hospital
body?
gown on.
Okay.
And it is like, you can tell your body doesn't feel pain. Like, it doesn't hurt. Nothing hurts. You remember pain. You remember like the jelly bean going down your throat, and then you remember reaching, trying to, like, there's something, you knew there was something in your mouth that you had to get, and you remember reaching in, just your fist went straight into your mouth. You needed to get this out. It hurt so bad, but you pulled out this sword from your body. But as you did, the pain lifted, and there was nothing that hurt anymore. You've had sciatica. You've had a trick knee that's been that every time it rains, it just, oh god, the pain is incredible. That's all gone. It's all gone. Your lumbago's never felt better, and you've had excellent health insurance, and it's never been this good. You feel stiff, but not in the bad way.
I really don't know.
That could be taken back. You are. You feel great. You look at the sword that's in your hand. You suddenly can't take your eyes off of it, and you just stare. You hear a voice. It says, "Hello."
Oh, not another voice. Oh no.
Can I hear this voice? Or is this for Clifford only?
This is for Clifford only.
Excellent.
There is Alex. What could you describe your character before the table? Before the table.
It looks like you might be on mute, Alex.
Participants. Nope.
We lost you?
No, I see that. I see them. They're there, but just they're talking, but nothing's coming out. Uh-oh.
They were working before.
We need our other player. Okay. How about now? Nothing. Uh-oh. We have technical difficulties.
More to add to the collection.
It's been a day, folks.
It really has. I had a jelly bean shoved down my throat. Now I have a sword in my hand. Can you how did you get here?
I don't rightly know. I don't rightly know.
What was the last thing that you remember?
Well, I went out in a snowstorm in Minnesota. I know it doesn't really sound like I'm from Minnesota, but I'm a newly moved. I was heading to the VCS, and I think I got in a car accident.
Oh no.
I woke up here.
And you're fine. You look completely fine. This is so weird.
You do notice that as much as you're holding this this sword in your hand, was it Monica? Or
Yes.
yeah, Monica is just casually holding what looks like an Instagram. Excuse me,
Instagram.
she's
The
holding
whole thing.
selfie. Click. No, she seems to be holding a old Polaroid camera.
That's really interesting. Haven't seen one of those in ages.
Oh.
Does that actually have film in it?
I open it. Does it have film in it?
It does. Just
Hopefully
it's got
I
a full
wasn't
cartridge.
supposed to open it.
No,
but there is film in there.
No, the Polaroids that had cartridges, like you didn't have to worry about exposing the film. You just kind of put it in there, and yeah, you're all set. There's no exposure on that.
They're a little before Monica's time.
That's okay. I've been around the block quite some time.
Alex, are you back yet? No. What happened? Oh no. Oh. And there they go. Well, there seems to be an unconscious person in the other on the other table. And actually I could work with this. They will avoid physical descriptions at the moment, but no, nothing yet. There isn't a third person just sitting, just lying there on the other table, and you hear what sounds like a clunk, a ka-chunk at the door, and what this handle that looked like about 2 feet wide shifts 90 degrees to the left toward the inside of the door, and with this heavy thunk, and then you see what looks like the door cracks open and the blaring alarm is heard even louder than it was before, and what looks like a rifle pistol, the rifle tip enters and says, and you see a man with looks like full riot gear. He just puts his gun in through the room and says, "Identify yourself on the ground now."
Clifford
Drop
Banks.
the weapon.
Put my hand on the ground. Put both hands on the ground. It's part of my hand. I can't let it go. I can't let it go.
And he opens the door and he sees the woman. He sees a woman. He sees a man. He sees somebody, and he enters the room. You see a gentleman. He is wide because he's simply because he's wearing so much body armor, black. You see what looks like a strange logo on the top left with a circle, 3 chevrons and 3 arrows pointing inside of it, and on it you see the number 13. And he enters the room, and are you guys? Have you complied? Are you on the ground?
Clifford's on the ground, hands and knees. He's got the sword on the ground. He begins to chuckle a little bit.
Okay.
I think my first instinct would be actually to make sure that I was properly covered, as a large, strange man just jumped into the room with a big old gun.
Okay.
But after that, I would come to my senses and slowly try to put myself on the ground and making sure, do these hospitals have those unfortunate drafts in the back?
Yes.
Yeah, I would try to wrap something around so that nothing untoward was shown as I daintily put myself on the ground.
such a lady. You, the gentleman sees the weapon held by Clifford, and he walks over, and while it's sitting on the ground, he tries to kick it away, and then he just immediately falls to the floor dead. There's a flash of light, and he falls down completely motionless.
Did his foot touch the blade?
Mm-hmm. He basically just tried to kick the blade away from you, and he falls down dead.
What happened?
I don't rightly know, but I'm certainly glad I did not accidentally grab that blade.
That might have oh no. Now, as I have this blade in my hand, I know consciously of what's going on. Yes?
You do now.
I do now. Okay.
The voice gives you everything. You know the way of the blade.
Oh no.
You know your purpose. You know that anyone that you and this sword will never ever be parted again. This is yours. This is your birthright. You have the blade.
No.
And everyone that you kill, everyone that is slain with this blade will be saved. And as these thoughts, this voice in your head simply says, everyone you slay will be saved, will be saved, will be saved. You hear a little like this, whoop, and behind you, there is a gentleman. He has the same facial features as the person that was standing before you, who just kicked the blade. And he is standing there. He is completely nude, but he is completely metallic. And he just stands there and like, okay, that was weird. Is that me?
Oh no. Yes. Sir, that was you. It was you. It is you. I don't.
Am I dead?
Well, you're not dead. You per se, you're here in a new metallic body. Oh no.
What happened to my body?
Well,
what happened to my butt?
Well, you kicked the blade and you died. Anything that pretty much gets touched with this blade is gonna die, and then you're gonna. Looks like you're. I guess. Sit down.
Okay, and he sits down.
Yep. Oh boy, this is just. Oh no.
Clifford, what did you do?
Okay, this blade. This must have been from the jelly bean or whatever they threw in my throat. What was it? I don't even remember. Okay, this blade appeared in my hand, and apparently everything that pretty much touches it or I kill with it, they come back as a metallic version of themselves, and they pretty much are my minion, and they'll do whatever I say.
Forever?
I look
Forever.
Back. Did that happen in my head?
No, like the guy sitting next to you in the room now is just like, we are immortal now. We are forever.
Yep. What you said. Oh no. I don't need any more voices in my head.
Well, it sounds like you need some protection for that weapon. Otherwise, it's going to become mighty crowded in here mighty fast.
If anything else comes in here, it's gonna. Oh no.
Lost Alex. Okay. You there are no more people entering. You hear a lot of commotion in the hallway. You have no sense of what time it is. There is no monitors, no computers. They're just documents, and nothing else nothing else other than this unconscious person and a dead person and Harold. Harold is not talkative, but he just seems he seems to know instinctively that he belongs to the sword, and he has been saved by you. You have chosen him.
Am I back at all?
Yes, you are. Okay.
I
Hooray.
hear an Alex.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me 1 second, Silas. As I realize that he's there, his name is Harold. I walk up to his old body. Harold, can you feel this? And I kick his dead body.
Emotionally, that hurts my soul.
Okay, so why don't you pick your body up and go put it in the corner so nobody does that again? This is going to be really
Okay,
weird.
and-
Well, point of order. If he's not using it anymore, might I borrow some clothes?
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Seeing as you're immortal, apparently, and I am not. Presumably. Don't touch me with the sword. I do not wish to test that.
I promise I will not do that.
Alex, you can you tell me about your character?
Yeah, so I am a guy called Daniel Humboldt, who was a naturalist who had gone off into the mountains to investigate just an odd area that didn't look like it had been surveyed properly. Went to sleep in a tent one night and came up here.
And you hear people. You remember sleeping on hard, packed earth, camping pad beneath you, but now there's just a metal table. It's drafty. Your feet are sticking out, and there sounds like people. There's commotion, and there's a loud klaxon alarm going off down it seems like in the other room. But there's people, like somebody's just saying like, do not touch me with that with that blade, blah 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 blah. And it's something about move your body over, move this body, and like, can I have like this? There's this whole argument is happening, and you come to and you realize you can hear it so well. It's crisp. This audio is so clean, like you've never heard it. You can hear the sounds of their saliva like running against, like rubbing against their lips. It's a little disgusting. If you've ever edited audio, anyone who's edited audio knows this this feeling.
Right. Hearing these noises, so I've got the veil over my face as well, I'm assuming. So I'm sort of like pull it around enough to kind of see if I can see what's going on without alerting anyone.
Okay. Do you go ahead and give me, if you're trying to do this stealth, let's go ahead and have our first roll. Give me a stealth check.
Okay, let me just get my dice roller out. A natural 20.
Okay.
Plus something. 15, so it's like 35.
We'll just run this as a passive. You pull the sheet down just ever so slightly, and you creep your eyes over the edge, and it burns. The light hurts your eyes. It's so incredibly bright. It's like they have spotlights like blaring down at you. It takes probably that whole conversation for your eyes to eventually adjust, and even then it's like the room has 50 halogens going at the same time. It's barely tolerable.
How thick is this fabric that is like, does light come through that even?
You can definitely see, you can see the light even through when your eyes are closed. And it rubs against your skin, and it like everything just feels itchy and wrong. Everything's like, it's like you know how when your arm like you sleep on your arm wrong and it goes to sleep, you're getting a lot of that going on right now.
I hate that.
Except your whole body.
Oof, that's not good. So is it sort of like am I feeling kind of numb as well? So it's
the opposite.
Oh, the opposite. So I just sort of try and move up, sort of sit upright, when kind of get a sense of like, is it like hurting more to do so or whatever?
It's just more. It's like you're drawing attention. Your mind is being drawn attention to those areas that are moving. Now it's not so much pain as it's just discomfort. Nothing feels like you're going to be comfortable at all in this moment. Something's wrong. Like it's like it's too tight.
I sort of slowly sort of get out. It's like the kind of way that sort of you like get out when you've been sleeping on a really hard bed. So just like you just don't feel good. Just
What does your character look like? What was your character's name again?
Daniel Humboldt.
Daniel, could you please tell us what you look like?
I look probably in my late 30s. So I don't really have a good image of this at this point. Bit of a sort of did have thick glasses on. I don't know, probably no longer in this case. I'm assuming.
It was a bit of an audio feedback thing there.
Yeah.
Scared me.
That scared the crap out of me.
Okay. So this gentleman sits up. He visibly looks uncomfortable, like not just like for the situation, like waking up in a weird place. He is clutching he's clutching and like unconsciously clutching his body, and he looks like he's trying to not scratch himself. It's just like not trembling, just very, very tense, and he sits up with this look on his face, and like he can barely open his eyes. It's like he's squinting really hard.
Did Harold have one of those masks with like a visor that perhaps might filter some of the light?
Yes, he does. He does.
Okay, well, I'm a mother, so seeing a person in discomfort, I would cease putting the protective helmet on my own head and approach him and be like, "I'm sorry, sir. It seems like you might need this more than I do."
We lost his audio again. You take the helmet and you cannot speak. It's such good sound dampening. So we moving right along.
Well, I think I can. Maybe you want another minion. I could just and get another
sits
following.
there,
No.
I think he's just a little overwhelmed.
rocking back and forth on
just
at the edge of the table, holding his hands against the sides helmet. Something that you need to that you should understand, Mr. Clifford. Hello?
Just a heads up, I'm losing you. I think we all did.
Oh, did I fall out?
For the moment.
Okay. The urge to set.
Oh. I am loving that still picture of Stylus, though.
Yeah, that was a great place to stop.
It really was. Unfortunately.
Aliens.
I'm not used to just randomly standing here naked. He has no clothing on. He's just metallic and looks like Mercury. And we lost everybody.
Oh, that's right. You are
yes.
not properly attired.
Absolutely not. I do have one accessory of a sword.
Well, we do have this top. We can kind of make a sarong for you.
Maybe I'll just
protect my dignity, if not your own.
Maybe I'll just tie something around my waist just to cover myself up. It might be the best.
I'm back.
Hello again.
Let's see. Yeah, so the other gentleman is just hovering his hand, pushing his hands against the side of his head, and what you're noticing that is, though, Mr. Clifford, when you look at this woman and this other gentleman sitting up, you're not getting that urge to save when you look at them, as if you know the words only like you will save humanity, and you're not getting that feeling when you look at these two.
But I definitely got that one from the security guard.
Yes.
Okay.
So the door is open, And let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and roll. Let's go ahead and roll a d4. Let's see what happens. Okay. This very dramatic. You hear nibbling. Loud scraping, nibbling at the door. You can see something is moving the door. It's like scratching against it. Then you can see what looks like a tiny little black and white furry head nibbling its way at the edge of the door. And it's making progress. You can see as you turn your head, you're noticing it's eaten at least 3 inches in those few moments that you were looking at it, and it is chewing. This little tiny rabbit is chewing its way through the door, and
Hello?
it seems to be like clawing, like biting. It's doing that thing where it gets like the bottom of the door is gone, and then it's like reaching its mouth, its legs up, trying to get to the rest of the door. And this door is at least 4 inches thick steel.
There's a problem here. There's a rabbit eating through steel.
I think we
Hi,
have
am I
Alex
back now?
back. Just to let you know.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hooray! Hopefully, I've updated Zoom.
Yep, I see. Yes.
Right. So, what did I miss?
Yeah, there's a
very
loud
hungry
nibbling.
bunny.
Daniel, there is a loud nibbling, even through this helmet that you've been trying to suppress the noises with. The klaxon is still going, but there is this intense sound of something chewing through metal.
Do we know which
And
direction it's coming from?
It's coming from the doorway.
Okay.
You turn, you can see it's just a little rabbit. It's a little black and white, like little normal pet store rabbit, and it's chewing through 4 inches of steel.
That's terrifying.
Oh my.
Should I just stab it and just be done with it?
Please. Oh, although he apparently eats metal, you may want to be careful about that.
Oh, that's actually that's a really good point.
I'm very perceptive.
It makes its way across the room and starts to eat the desk that is beside the table, containing a number of documents and the what looks like it's just documents, documents and folders on the table, and you can hear it chunking just through the wood.
So is it in the same room as we are? Sorry.
I'm sorry?
Is it in the same room we are? Sorry.
Yeah, it walked. The door was Harold left the door open.
Okay.
And the little rabbit walks through and just begins to eat the desk.
Can I try and snatch some of those documents before?
All right. You're here. You look at the pages. Looking at with the lights in the room, staring at white pages. It's hard to see what exactly you're reading, but it just says something along the lines of something Dr. Wondertainment. And then a number of what looks like this black, like what looks like text, but then it's just blacked out, as if somebody has literally erased, like destroyed the words underneath. But it says testing in progress, and then something dispose of as soon as possible.
I show it to the other two as like, I don't like the sound of this at all. Are they going to dispose of us?
I don't really want to be disposed of. Who's the name on that? Who's the name?
Dr. Wondertainment.
I think we might have to go find his office,
or maybe the exact opposite direction to his office and get out of here.
Do you guys remember anything on your way into this room? At all?
Not here. No.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
I guess I'm gonna have to use this. I really don't want to, but I'm gonna have to. And you see Clifford put his hands up to his head. Like, shut up! Just stop talking. We have to go find our way out. We have to get out of here.
Can I try and listen to see if I can hear like any guards coming from any particular direction or anything?
Give me a perception.
Okay. So that'll be a 18 in total.
Okay, that is enough. You could definitely hear commotion even over the klaxons, the chewing, the incessant and constant chewing. It's like you could hear it in your own head as if you were chewing on like carrot sticks. It's so loud, and you can hear what sounds like distant gunfire.
Can I sort of get a direction on that?
Down the hall, to the right. If you were to enter the hallway, it would be
Okay.
it would be to the right.
Do either of you have any sort of a weapon? Like, is there anything that you can actually do?
Well,
there's
I
a gun
have
on the floor.
Harold's gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have any weapons on me now.
well, I'm not. Okay, so I'm the only person here with anything melee. Perhaps I should be in front. Maybe you want to take the back and just kind of pick off anybody that's kind of maybe even the rabbits. Oh no.
Sure. Is there a strap on my camera so I can put it around my neck and not
Yes.
have to worry about it being my hands? Okay.
Indeed. And the rabbit has eaten half of the desk by now.
Okay, I think we should.
Do we want to take care of that one?
Back
Maybe-
off and I'll take a shot at it.
Why don't you take a picture just for just so somebody else like in the future can actually see what happened?
But maybe if we leave it, it'll slow down anyone who's chasing us. So
Okay, so I take the strap on the gun and put the gun behind my back and take the camera and be like, say cheese, sugar. And I click the button.
Okay. I'm going to say that you have a shot of the, you take a step back, you got a shot of the door, and the desk beside it, and then this little rabbit in the very center at the bottom of the shot. And it takes a moment. You start fanning it as one does with a Polaroid, and then you look at it, and as you're holding it, the picture comes alive, and you look down, and there's the rabbit eating still, and then you look at the photo, and it's come alive as if it's like a video feed.
Mr. Clifford.
I think I might have been wrong. Sorry about that. It's a camera. I didn't think anything about it. I don't know.
So the Polaroids don't normally behave like this.
No, absolutely not.
It'd cost a lot more if they did. And as you're holding it, you can feel like right at the edge where the picture would be, your thumb goes into the photo.
And is there a giant thumb like poking through somewhere, or
no? You don't see that.
Okay.
And like if you like look at you look at where the picture would be, like she puts her face where the photo would have been. You two can see that her face shows up in the photo, but you don't. When you look, Monica, you don't see anything there, as if it's just this empty space.
Huh.
And you get this weird, like you put it over in front of you, and you get that weird, like live stream, like double image thing happening.
There's
like,
infinity number of me.
One thing to see it in
Don't
2D.
put the
3D is
photo
different.
inside the photo.
But maybe we can use this to our advantage. We can like, if we take a photo like here, then we know if someone's following us. If we take the photo with us, I think. Am I understanding that right?
That might actually work.
Did Harold have some kind of utility vest where I can just stick that in a pocket?
Of course, you are now dressed as sharing with other than a helmet. You are just in this amount of time just started putting on bits and pieces of his outfit. You've got the tactical vest, the utility belt, and a very powerful looks like a very powerful automatic rifle.
We should make a sarong for Harold as well.
That's wrong. There are sheets. There's plenty of sheets.
There, we'll give him a little toga.
Thank you. I will take this and wear it. I don't feel cold. I don't feel shame. I feel saved. And he just like looks fondly over at Clifford.
Now that, sir, is creepy.
I think I understand. I do understand. This is. Oh no.
What shall we do?
I think I am personally inclined to go in the opposite direction to the gunfire as quickly as possible.
I think we're actually going to send Harold into the gunfire.
Okay.
Is that ethical?
We already killed him. Well,
Okay.
he technically killed himself by kicking the sword.
Through death, I will live forever. And yes,
See?
that was my bad.
That's disconcerting.
Oh no.
Is there one of those placards on the wall next to the door that shows where the nearest emergency exits are? I lost my accent.
You look at the do you stick your head out the door? Well, you have to in order to look at this, but
if it's outside the door, yes.
You don't see anything. It just says testing 13-testing 2 again. And you don't see like emergency exits, follow this path. You don't see anything like that. You do see a data pad that is on the opposite side of the door. Excuse me, on the opposite side of the wall where beside the door. And it is running. It is just. It says on it. It's just flashing the words breach, all security to the thresher.
Oh.
I don't.
Well, that doesn't sound like a very good place to go.
No, either for threshers or security. Neither of those things sound good.
This data pad that you mentioned, is that something that we might be able to commandeer and perhaps find a map of this facility on?
It's built into the wall. You can try to access it though.
Beep beep beep. Oh, I have technology.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'll make a roll.
Go for it.
I scooted back from my monitor, so now I have to squint at it a bit. That would be a 14.
Okay, that's good enough. You access it. It doesn't recognize. It says fingerprint unrecognizable, but it does at least bring you up to a main screen. The facility is, as far as like a map. If all you were trying to do is find a map, you can find it. But it like what the rooms that it does give you, are currently fading in and out, like it's giving a live feed of its current status. You see at least four of the adjacent rooms are on fire. You look at the room, seems fine. Doesn't like you don't hear anything, but it says it's on fire. And your room says it is currently breached. And down the hall, it just seems to stop. And when you look down that hallway, you see a blackness. Like the lights have gone out, but then you look at the map, and then the light goes out further down, and then you look at the map, and that part of the map disappears as well. And it just said like where the hallway was in that section. It just puts a question mark, and it says error.
I don't like that.
You can still hear the gunfire.
Is that from that same direction or from the other direction?
Yeah, from the direction of the darkness.
Is there any kind of communication like set up in this pad?
You would actually have to access it.
Oh right, okay. Don't know. I don't like this darkness, and I don't like this gunfire, and I really think we should just get out this room before someone comes to take us again.
Oh, before that bunny decides to eat us.
Or that.
It's chomping away so much. You look at
That
the
is
photo.
also a horrible sound.
Yeah, you look at the photo. You could almost hear it through the photo, and it's eaten the desk, and it's already eating one of the tables.
Quick question about the photo. When you say you can reach into the photo, can you take things out of the photo?
You could try.
What happens?
You can you reach your hand in, and you kind of just like you see Clifford still standing there. You kind of grab his shoulder,
That seems
and you touch,
safe.
and yeah, you can feel him. And then Clifford just looks. You see her hand. It's just this disembodied hand is floating through. It's like to scale. Hers, it's not like this gigantic, like 5-foot
That would be
arm.
useful.
Oh, great. Multiple voices in my head now. There's hands coming out of nowhere. Oh, no.
It's okay, Clifford. That's just me.
Yeah, she's stroking the side of your face. It's fine.
I really hope.
You have a little
no.
smudge right
no.
here.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I think I'm very inclined to just take a picture of this room or of the corridor outside so we can see what's going on, and then start to make a move before this rabbit gets hungry for us.
Click.
Okay. You take a picture of the darkness side, or the side, the non-darkness toward the side of the hallway.
The darkness was the side where the gunfire was coming from as well, so
Correct.
I'm inclined to that.
Okay.
You guys.
Works for me.
Okay. All right. You take a photo, and it looks just like black. It just looks black, and as it develops, you notice what looks like a head of a man, like right from the nose up, like just at the edge of the darkness. These eyes are looking at you through the photo, and then the photo comes to life, and it's like it's more of a head. And then you look over at the hallway, and just at the edge of that darkness, you can see what looks like a man rising up, covered in shadow and slime and ichor. His body looks desiccated and like covered in oil. He does not like his skin looks pitch black. He just has this hateful look in his eyes, and he rises slowly out of the darkness. He rises slowly out of the ground, and then the darkness overcomes him. And then you just see those eyes, these white spots in the darkness, and they begin to walk closer.
Okay, can we run now?
I think that would be wise.
Okay.
Come along, Clifford. Unless you want to send Harold ahead of us, or leave him here to play with that fella.
Oh no, I'm gonna send him ahead of us. Harold, march.
Traps.
Yes. And he just takes he acts like he has his gun in hand. He doesn't have anything, but he just like military training takes over and just takes off down the hallway. You can hear just like clank, 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 like because he is literally, you can hear it. He is literally made of metal, living, and he just these heavy smacks against the floor. He kind of slips a little bit, and he just runs on ahead of you. You continue down the hallway. There are more data pads. There are a few doors that are open, and strange noises coming from each and every single one of them. But the darkness, like every time you turn around or every time you look at that photo, up until right when it gets to the doorway that you guys were in, you can see that face getting closer and closer, and then the darkness takes over the room or in that hallway, and you can't see anything at the moment. The entire photo is black. And,
okay.
You could still hear the bunny in that black space. Something's chewing.
Point of clarification. This gentleman, the slimy fellow, could we see him outside of the photo or only within the photo?
You saw him outside the photo.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I was just doing it for a dramatic effect. Like it's giving you a close-up view of him.
Just like nostrils of the shadow.
You eventually come up to what looks like a T-section, and you see Harold. He's standing there, and he has no idea which direction to go. He hasn't been given orders. He's waiting for you, standing at the hallway, like motioning you guys over. So he's looking very Roman in his toga sarong thing.
Nice. So at the T-section, I want to find out what sounds are coming from which direction.
Cafeteria down this way. Barracks down this way.
Are there any sounds coming from either? I use my enhanced hearing to check.
You can hear You don't hear anything like specifically. Mostly it's coming from behind you. Though, give me a perception. Everyone give
Okay.
me a perception, actually.
Okay.
Ooh,
19.
19. Okay.
30.
Nice.
10.
You let's see, Daniel, you can hear something like something behind you, these wet steps. Something is like you can definitely hear the man making progress as he's walking. He's not running, he's just walking. The sounds like the wet, sloppy sounds as he moves through the space. You could smell him. Oh, or is that you? God, body odor. Something's terrible. Monica, you can hear not too far down, just maybe just the position that you were in, but there is something down the hallway toward the cafeteria. It sounds like a clatter and sounds like somebody crying.
Does the cry sound like it is that of a child?
I would say it does not. It sounds like a normal. It sounds feminine, and it sounds as far as you can tell, human.
Well, someone is in trouble towards the cafeteria.
I think
But that trouble seems to be, but that would then logically mean there is trouble that way. If we are in this for ourselves, I suggest going the other.
So somebody's down there, and you think we need to go save them?
Well, is that what we do now? Do we save
What?
people?
You see Clifford just like kind of change his demeanor. Well, perhaps we should just go down there and kill him. Them. Her. She. Kids. Children. I don't care. You just kind of see him just like shake it off.
They will be saved.
Sorry about that.
They will be saved.
There's another 3
No,
voices
that's just
is too
Harold.
much. God, too many voices. I got this metal man behind me, 2 in my
Okay,
head.
I think-
It's not going to be good. Oh.
Okay, maybe if I sneak up and have a quick look just to see what's going on, and then if it's something bad, then we just run away. And
If it's scary,
Don't
we
do
go the other way. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay. I'll follow right behind you.
Okay. Daniel scouts ahead.
And I have the gun out at this point.
Okay.
And I have no
Um,
choice to have a sword in my hand.
It looks like a typical office cafeteria. It is large, like a school cafeteria, but the ceilings are generally low. You do see what says weapon check by the door, but there's nobody here. There is a disgusting smell of flesh, rotted meat.
Ew.
Not beef, not pork. It smells terrible. It's like there's this seems like spores. You can see them in the light, just floating in the air, like air dust motes. And there is somebody crying in probably about 40 feet from you. They seem to be from the entrance of this cafeteria. There is what looks like a red discoloring against the wall, and there's somebody crying there.
Can we see the person or just hear them?
You can see movement. There seem to be kind of like hiding underneath one of the tables.
So I have an ability to mimic voices.
Okay.
So I am going to just mimic the voice of just someone who sounds sort of very calm and non-threatening and soothing. Sort of, hello there. Is everything all right in there?
You hear, like, as you speak, you have instinctually want to say, it's me. It's Emerson.
Okay.
And the voice comes out, and it doesn't sound like your voice, not the voice that Daniel remembers. And it is it's like a completely different. It's like you lose your accent. You've lost any nasal that was to your voice, and and this, you see this hand, small hand, creep out, and this woman of Asian descent pops, kind of creeps out. She is wearing a lab coat, and it says Site 13 on the lapel. Excuse me, on her chest, above the pocket, and she says, "Site director, is that you? I think we have a problem. I I think we can. I don't think it's going to work. The thresher is going to. We can activate it. We can. I don't see Mr. Emerson.
Can she see us?
She can see your. The lights are very dim. To you, it seems bright, normal, but she can't. She seems to be struggling to see your face.
Okay.
I'd say she's more seeing like a backlit silhouette at the moment.
So in that case, I will sort of question her a bit about the thresher in the sorry, Emerson, did you say?
Yes.
So in the Emerson voice, it's like, why don't you think that will work then? What is the problem here?
I don't. We should like they're coming. They're breaking. They're breaking reality. I don't think. And she stands up to her full height, and there is this nasty growth coming out of her left shoulder. I think I have a problem. If we activate the thresher, maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can maybe we can make them all go away. We burned them all. We burned them all. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. And as she starts crying and twitching, you can see the growth spreads across her body, and what looks like a tentacle like just crawls out from the side of her neck, out of her eye, and suddenly like half of her body is covered in tentacles. And she comes closer to you and says, "Site director, I think I have something for you, Mr. Emerson." And she begins to trudge closer and closer. Her normal, still half human body begins to just shuffle, but the tentacles seem to have like just writhe and push their way across the cafeteria.
Is there any sign that she does have anything on her? Like that she's not trying to hand us. She's not like got anything in her hand, like reaching out or anything.
Like, I have the red key card you will need in 2 rooms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be nice. But
you do see that she does have identification, kind of like those key like a key
Red
card.
identification.
But it's like it has her face on it, and it has her name.
Okay. I kind of begin to step backwards because this is creepy as hell. And I'm
So
not
the 2
convinced.
of you have finally arrived, and you hear somebody saying that they have something for Mr. Emerson.
And we can see the images in front. Yes.
It's pretty dark in that room, actually.
So you can't see like the.
You hear something. You hear somebody. It's they're getting closer. The only one who actually sees is Daniel.
Okay. And can I roll a perception of some sort to try to? 18 plus. What do I have? Oh, nothing. I have nothing in perception. So 18.
You do see what these strange tendrils making their way through the weapon check and across the salad bar.
Nice.
Yeah, there's these strange then you see this like the shadow of a humanoid figure making its way through, making its way closer to you. you don't have that urge to save this one.
I've got rear guard. Do you fellows need any help in there?
No.
I've also got the gun.
That might be a good time to use that.
Okay. And I'll take a peek into the room. So we have a tentacle person approaching that I might not see.
You see, she seems to she's like half behind some of the tables, and there's a few counters between you and her. She's like in the far corner of the room, making a beeline over the tables and then under and through the tables. It kind of like just these tentacles are kind of just like a weird root made of meat that's just kind of dragging this half of a woman through.
That is absolutely horrifying, and I'm going to take a couple shots at it.
Okay, go ahead.
Pow, pow.
Give me an attack roll.
Ooh. This is ranged firearms. That is a whopping 14, sir.
You fire and the bullets hit, but they you see there's like chunks of the tentacle fly away, but you can see that they little bits and pieces try to sew the flesh back together, and it still progresses.
New plan: we close the door and leave.
I agree.
Okay,
I'm down for that. Can we get Harold to hold the door for me?
That's totally possible.
Harold, go inside the room.
Okay, this I will do for you. And he walks into the room and he closes the door and he says, "I don't think this one can be saved."
I don't think you can be either. Shut the door.
It's touching me. It's and then yeah. He closes you guys are start securing the door, and it's just you hear like this thumping, boom, 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 and it's like something along the lines of Hannah, please put me down. Like then just metal slamming against tables. I think that would have hurt earlier. Is this because of New Year's? And the voice is getting further and further away.
Let's maybe go the other way then.
You do notice, like at the edges of the door, just at the bottom, there's this red kind of creeping fungal looking spread that's just making its way through the bottom of the door.
Kind of like a moss.
Yeah, it's kind of like a moss, but fine, like a very fine, thin, dusty layer of something, but it is red.
Let's not touch that.
Let's avoid that. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't suppose Mr. Harold had anything on him that would light a fire. Perhaps he was a smoker?
No, the last when I saw him, he was just metal.
You do
the old Harold, like in
she
his
has all his weapons.
pockets.
He does have he does have flares, at least 3, and he did have at least 1 incendiary device, short range.
Seeing that I have all these weapons that I didn't realize I had, I'll probably distribute some of that because this stuff is
it's all on the gun, other than the flare.
Yeah.
Other than the gun,
there's buttons on the gun.
Yeah.
It'd be
mind you, okay, I just saw Alien 2 again, the aliens. So imagine that weapon that Ripley's carrying around, but it's all in this compressed rifle.
Aliens.
And yeah, if only you could hold a two-handed weapon right now. You can't even Clifford can't even let go of the sword. He just got this death grip on it that he has not been able to release.
My hand's going numb.
So, not being a gun person in real life, does incendiary mean that it just kind of explodes when it hits it, or is it actually like a flamethrower?
That's going to be like
it's like a little flamethrower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire.
Well, back off, fellas, and I will see if I can.
I get very quickly out the way of that.
you can see that the creep that's working its way from the bottom of the door. You can hear it some kind of like an extra crispy crinkling, and you hear something on the other side of the door screeching. And now the door is on fire.
Well,
Well,
let's not wait
fantastic.
around to find out.
Nope.
Okay, where would
Hopefully Harold wins.
He'll be fine.
I can make more saviors.
Well, I mean,
Like
more
him.
that if Harold doesn't win, then Tentacle Lady is on our 6.
Maybe I should go find more.
Let's
He
put a
did say
pin in
that the
that.
barracks was in the other direction.
Should we go? So, was the implication that this was a dead end with just the barracks and this cafeteria here, or is there like more as well?
Like from here, you'd have to explore. Right now, the cafeteria is pretty much just that. There's a utility closet, not too far from you, but it does have that data pad on it still. Like this is a communal door. Everyone has been able to get to it, but now that it's closed, you can actually see that the panel on the side of the cafeteria has locked this door.
Can I have a quick look in that utility closet and see if there's anything in there that I could use as like a makeshift weapon? Like
Okay.
even if it's just like some bleach to throw at someone.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Give me a D20 roll. Just give me a straight D20.
Okay. 5.
5. There's lots of soap. You see a lot of soap and that stuff that and there is a bucket of water. And you're looking at as you're looking at it, give me a will save.
Okay, so that's
just you.
Just me. So is that's my defense will plus a D20?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 26. Sorry, my brain went there. 26.
You're looking at the water, and part of you just wants to just cover yourself in water. And but you pull away because that's dirty water. That's mop water. But that urge is there. That you just feel like this is you need to find some water, and the itching is getting worse.
Yeah, just like close the door of that cupboard, and just sort of.
Yeah, there's just a few. There's just a few there's mops, there's brooms, nothing too interesting as far as what you can see in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you continue to the barracks, or do you? What would you like to do?
Barracks.
Okay.
The
you cross down toward where the T section is, and you could still see what looks like that black shadow is creeping down the hallway. There is also, as you're looking, it said there seems to be something smeared against one of the walls of the hallway that wasn't there when you passed by. It's a bit farther away from the impending darkness, but it looks strange.
What kind of smear are we talking here? Like, is it blood or is it something else?
It looks like blood, smells like blood, but it's very brown.
A day old strawberry jelly.
And this is huge. It's huge. There's something strange about it. You can't really tell what you're looking at as you're from the angle that you're at, that you currently are passing by.
Okay. I think we should maybe see if we can find weapons in the barracks and then try and find a way out.
I think I'm all set on weapons.
Well, yeah, you are. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I guess you two have weapons. So if you feel comfortable taking on stuff on my behalf more, but
I never feel comfortable.
Okay, that's
no.
Well, I think that's a fine idea. Perhaps I can find something a little less cumbersome.
You make your way down into the barracks, and you see there is a number of people sleeping in their beds. You can see it's like this long hall, all of with just what looks like little cubbies of stationed out for people. It doesn't look like permanent housing for soldiers. It looks like this place might cycle through soldiers very quickly. And you're seeing what kind of looks like just dividers between each section. And when you enter, there's still those weird, like there's more of these strange things on the walls, these markings.
Are the sirens still going?
In this area, yeah, you could still hear them. They're just it's like for you it's incredibly loud. But like everything you for Monica and Clifford, it just sounds like you can hear it. It's like a fire alarm going off. For Daniel, it's like he's stuck, like putting the fire alarm in a bucket and then wearing the bucket.
Yeah, I'm just like clutching my ears and just sort of like, well, how could they sleep through this?
As I enter this area, do I feel anything from those that are sleeping?
There are so many to be added to the flock, so many to be saved. They've served their they have served their country. They have served this foundation, and they must be saved. You have getting a strong urge to save so many people.
I look back at the others and I was like, no, please don't. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Freaking me out, dude.
Yeah.
And then another voice comes out from Clifford that you haven't really heard. You heard a chuckle here and there. Oh, we are going to take these for ourselves now, aren't we?
Clifford,
Yes, dear.
are you all right?
I'm going to be better very soon.
I use my mimic voice thing again to try and come up with a voice that again will like calm our armored companion down a bit.
Okay. A voice. What do you say to him first?
It's like, like, what do I say to him?
Murder is a sometimes food.
Murder is a sometimes food. I fucking love that.
It's my cheat day.
Sort of. No. Is that quite what we ought to be doing here?
Well, it's what I feel I need to do. You hear him. You think, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. No. Yes, we are. And you see him just walk forward and attempt to begin to stab a few of those that are in slumber.
Okay. You never put out the fire by the cafeteria. So eventually the smoke reaches to the sprinkler system, and the entire room and the hallway.
Getting robot voice?
Oh no, I've caused him to robot.
It's the sprinkler going off all over the computer. Just
rain down water as he breathing figures. God. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay.
Yep.
You're back now.
Okay. You push the blade in, I'm assuming?
Just stabbing in as many as I can in a row to try to
Okay.
going for.
You see this unassuming metallic man just begin to stab these people in these locked in, not locked, but underneath these sheets, and one by one there seems a person standing at the foot of the bed looks over kindly with a smile and says, "That was not necessary, but thank you."
Oh,
And each time the person just like you just see him doing this, the sprinklers from the fire in the cafeteria door has spread, and the sprinklers, you can feel it on your skin, Daniel.
Robot
yep,
session.
robot, I'm afraid.
Um, and it feels it's the itchiness. You wanted it, the water was happening, and it's the itching is skin itch incredibly so. You have the urge to just
Yep, I
You-
think we lost him that time.
Yep.
Damn, he's getting good too.
So that water is doing something to your skin, and I don't know if it is good or it is bad, but that was the gist that I got.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of equally as terrified as ourselves as I am for all the other monsters right now.
I think that's fair. And I hope we didn't just lose
I don't hear
Alex.
anything. Wait, there we go. Okay.
Stylus is back. Alex is now frozen. Oh man.
Oh, the internet. The internet today. The internet today.
Hey, Stylus,
Um,
can you give me like a quick recap of like the past minute? As
you are
Clifford-
just going. You've decided, or one of the voices in your head has decided that
Hello?
it's time to increase the flock, and you just go like door to door salesman. Pop, pop,
Yes.
Kebabs of soldiers.
salvation for everybody.
I really think Stylus and Alex have a conflicting network.
Right?
Stabbing left and right. Every time you stab in, another person pops another over people and down on him. Oh god, I can't tell if I'm in.
I can hear you at the minute.
Let's take a minute. Let's breathe.
Yep.
And he's gone.
A little horrified screaming.
Yeah.
Clifford, what have you done? That kind of thing. But not officially, because Stylus isn't here to adjudicate it.
Yes.
You can clearly tell a difference in his voice. You heard a chuckle from him earlier on and a couple
Mhm.
other
And it is chilling.
nuances. It
Yeah.
sounded like something else was trying to come out, and he kept
Like one of
holding
those
his head.
scary doll movies.
And I think I'm going to sort of whisper to Monica, sort of, I'm very worried by this, but I would rather have someone of this power with us. But
Right. It's not my place to judge. It is my place to fear, but I won't judge too harshly
yeah,
until we get out of here, at least.
yeah, but we probably. I mean, we have an army now of sorts, I guess.
A naked
Now.
army.
A naked, shiny army.
It appears that the dungeon master is still twitching
Clifford?
and roboting. Oh, yes, dear.
Can you please tell your minions to put on some pants?
Minions, grab your robes, grab your anything you have from your bedding, and wrap yourselves, please. Why are you doing this? Why? It's not necessary. You didn't have to do it.
Clifford.
This is everything.
Is this voice new?
And which one of us are you talking to, dear? You talking to him, the weak one, or me, the strong one?
I was talking to the Weasley one.
Oh God.
Well, I've taken her over, but sure, here you go. Oh, oh no, I didn't think this was going to happen again. It's. Oh.
So this has happened before, Sugar?
Some time ago, he's been in my head, and ever since I woke up after that pill, he's just been coming out.
He seems like a real charmer.
I've had his thoughts. He's been talking through my head forever.
Maybe he could take out some of his inhibitions, lack of inhibitions on that shadowy being that's coming our way.
Do we have a stylus back?
I'm not sure. Do we have a stylus?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm here. I've just been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that episode to end.
I did what I could.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. Am I back?
Yes, I can hear you.
Keep saying network
theory.
bandwidth low. Okay. Okay. The water is falling on your body, Daniel, and the itching is getting intense. To the point where you don't even realize how much that you are scratching at your skin. You can see in the like at the edge of the hall, walking through one of the walls is that black figure that was following you down the hallways. He just, as if the wall did not exist, he just morphs right through it, leaving a black darkened hole behind him, and he stands and begins to as Clifford is just collecting people for his flock, this one just grabs somebody and they throws them into the darkness and they disappear. So, and he this person is covered, like I've described him before. He just, like, imagine somebody completely covered in tar and with an emaciated old man looking body, and he just begins to walk closer toward would have to be he begins to walk toward the Monica at the other end of the hall, at the other end of the barracks.
Oh, I don't think so. Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a.
Love the gun sounds.
You stand at the center of the hallway, and you can see a number of the soldiers upon the addressing to they begin to fire 106, and then he just, everyone just starts firing, and they can already you can already feel them pushing you backwards out of the hallway, and it's like and he says, "Secure the savior," and but as this is happening, you can see Daniel just, he's scratching his arm on his shoulder, and then like right through the right through the hospital gown, and the skin on his arm just falls off like well cooked ribs. Just the meat falling off the bone. But underneath it's not bone. It's this long,
It seems to happen whenever it's like a dramatic moment.
Yeah, anytime there's something happening.
So should we take bets on what's underneath his skin?
It's like a fish person, I bet.
I'm hoping it's adamantium.
Yeah.
Man, the robot stopped. Can't hear anything else now.
I can hear like a faint.
It's too bad. I'm enjoying this, and then the robot had to happen.
Anyways, the
There he goes. You know, there was one point where he's laughing, and it sounded like Peter Griffin is like, heh, 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 heh.
Poor Stylus.
Poor Stylus.
He worked so hard on this
He did.
game, everybody. Just so
My
you
hat's off to
know,
you, buddy. It's
this game has been thwarting him at every turn.
and then the internet decided to follow suit. After.
oh yeah.
Yes.
So I don't even know where to go with this now because
I'm just scratching away here. Nothing.
Oh, honey, you shouldn't. Oh.
You might want to see a doctor about that.
Clifford snaps back into reality. Oh, I think you need some Benadryl for that. You might you might have some allergies. Oh, just let him tear his arm off. It'll be fine. No. There's only so far I can go.
Yeah, there's not much we can do at this like dynamic moment. Just stop and have a monologue. It'll be fine.
Thank you to Rada, who donated and commented "Ratatatata."
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Also, earlier on, we had who else donated? Where did that name go? I think it was Kelly.
Oops, Stylus is saying something.
Yeah, thank you, Might Be Kelly, for donating $20 earlier on in this stream. Greatly appreciated.
I would thank someone if Twitch wasn't also affecting my computer. So bear with me, and I'll see if I can get it.
Oh no!
It might not be worth it for. I mean, it might be too dangerous. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm going to do it on my phone, so it's not interacting with anything else. Yeah. I'm not in a gambling
You're like,
mood.
nope, not buying that.
So
nope.
yeah, Stylus will come up right the second that I crash out.
Like two ships passing in the night.
Yeah. And I will never know what was underneath my arm.
So, Monica, why don't you go a little bit more into detail as to what happened before you woke up in this room with a sheet over your head? What were you doing? Where exactly were you in your life?
Well, I was separated from my husband, who was a good old boy. Not a good old boy. I guess that actually means something right now. Well, he might have been. I just didn't know. But he was kind of a jerk face, and so I left him behind in the South with my jerk face father, and I moved up to Minnesota. I finished my teaching degree, and my daughter and I were living up there until one fateful snowy night. I don't know how much time has passed since then, or what has become of my daughter.
Am I back?
In the flashback disappears. The moment of reminiscing disappears as the dungeon master comes back into play.
Oh my god, I have never had this much problems with my internet. Anyway, yeah. So, what was the last thing you heard, Daniel?
Scratching away.
Scratching away.
Ripping my own arm off.
Yeah, your head. You start scratching at your neck, and your head falls off.
Oh,
it's just like you're pulling at a necklace, and then suddenly the whole thing just falls off, and you have this strange, disorienting moment as your eyes go dim. The sounds dim away for a moment, and then everything sounds just a little bit clearer. It's like all the rain, all the water dripping on your body. The lights are gone. nothing is as bright as it was before. It hurt, like your whole body can, you can sense the light there, and then you just stretch your neck, pulls out of its of this form, and you are a you have this reddish kind of skin now. You see what Daniel has become in the water, as the water drips against his body. The last of the bits of clothing from the patient's garb falls away, and where Daniel was is now standing a four-legged creature with like a dog, with no ears, no eyes, no nose, just this elongated snout with divots where the eyes would be, massive looking jaw, and it is just kind of chittering, but he still has that. He's you still have your voice. It still sounds like him, just like it just the whole time been saying things like, "Oh, the itching, it itches so much. Oh, that feels better," and just like ripping the flesh off. And now you feel a lot better. It feels a lot better, but you're so hungry.
That's it's stop now. Oh, thank God for that. Well,
There was a very dainty southern scream that happened when your head fell off, by the way. It did
My
not sound
apologies for that.
like the squawk that, that came out of Kim's voice. But it was very much of like that old Hollywood type scream I may have practiced as a child.
So,
Well, it looks like a pooch has joined our party. Stylus, how many minions do I have?
I'm gonna say you have at least 10, and they're all trying to usher you out of the hall. You can see a number, like they all seem to be focused their fire at this old man looking figure covered in black tar. The gunfire just kind of staggers him slightly. But he still seems to be making progress at you. And the more attention, the more people that are the more is being focus is being put at him, the angrier he seems to be getting, and he's closing in.
Can I see, like, does this anger seem to make him more powerful, more energetic, or of some way? Does the darkness become even darker?
You can see that he seems the further away. Give me an intelligence check. Just give me a straight roll and add your intelligence.
16 plus. It's my intelligence.
You're just a normal dude, so I don't think it's very
Yeah.
much. Normal intellect. Oh, but you have a circumstance bonus because you're holding the sword. So add a 5 to that.
Okay, so that'd be 21.
Okay. You know there are creatures of darkness, and this once man seeks to hurt, torture, and maim those who are of normal, like just people, normal people, like your flock, your the ones that you would save. This person hopes to do something quite the opposite. And you can see like a number of the people, the soldiers. He's closing in on the soldiers. The guns don't seem to be stopping him.
The soldiers I did not yet to save.
Those are gone. They're gone. It seems like wherever he walks, wherever he moves, a dark trail is being left behind him, and you can see he's just been grabbing people and throwing them into that pit behind you.
Oh boy!
Behind him. And he's reaching over. You can see your soldiers are now trying to basically holding him back, and he's not reaching for you. He's reaching for Monica. And you can see one of your soldiers just ends up in the metallic form, falls slips past and falls into that darkened space, and you don't see them anymore. You don't feel them anymore. You don't hear them anymore.
Is there a flash on my camera that I could enable?
It has a the Instamatic cameras usually always have a flash that you can use.
Okay, so that didn't affect him in any manner the first time.
Can I try and use my breath on it?
You can try.
So, let's see. How do I roll this? Sorry.
Let's see.
So it says
it would be something that you would do after you bite somebody.
Oh, I don't know if I want to bite it. That seems like a bad idea. Okay, so it's not just like a kind of dragon breath kind of thing.
And I did mark that it was something that you do to humans.
Oh, okay. So, okay, in that case, let's drop that from. So is there a corridor like that we can go down away from this thing?
You can make your way back away from the hallway, but you know that the it isn't too far from where he's already set up a black at the T section.
Yeah.
He was already making his way over there.
Do we have flashbangs?
You can use a flashbang. That shouldn't be hard. Just
Well, I can't. I have no hands.
Yeah, you have no. You have claws.
Says that, and I just grab one off of my vest and be like, "Wah!"
Okay. Give me let's see. Give me let's just add the firearms roll to that.
Okay. My dice hate me today. Firearms 13.
Okay. You throw the flashbang and it just bonks against his head and kind of hangs there in the air and then just explodes right amidst all of the metallic people. Let's see. I'm going to need you, Monica, to give me a let's see. What does that roll? I'm going to need you to give me a saving throw, and it will be will.
Okay, so this is the numbers under defense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, there's my 20. 23.
Nice.
23 is good enough. You can feel your as the light flashes, he reaches out for you, and you can feel his hand graze your shoulder, and you get this flash of this place as your eyes come back. You kind of between spaces, you feel like you're in this labyrinth, this dark, nasty, musty, moldy place, and you can see a number of you see a bunch of wandering soldiers, even and one silver person, kind of just like what the hell am I doing here? And then everyone is completely lost, but then you get pulled back. You can feel some of the soldiers pushing everybody out of the room. Let's see.
Running time. It's running time. I run.
I also and 4 legs, which is a new experience.
It is easy. It is so easy. You jump past it, leaping through past this creature. You are in no time. You are at the head of the pack. The voices. There's so many voices. You can hear them. You can hear them. They are very similar to you. You don't. God damn! I've been trying to get this freaking monster in the cafeteria to break through the doors, but it's not. I've never rolled that many 3s in my entire life.
Ultimate door defense. Yeah,
it's like that's a very strong door.
Doors.
Heard that, adventurers? Close more doors.
Yeah.
Running away is a valid strategy.
At the moment, there is you see them pulling up at the soldiers like falling back. They have none of their weapons seem to be working against this guy, but the darkness fills the doorway, and he doesn't. You see them they occasionally fire at anything that seems to be making its way out. And they are at the T section, and you keep hearing this banging against the door behind you now, the one at the cafeteria. The darkness, there is a darkness at enclosing at the other end of where the hallway that you originally came down from. You see one of the soldiers is just he's we need it, he's like reaching for radios and anything that just isn't there on this body. We need it, and one of them, a female figure stands taller than the others, and she says, like, we need extraction. We need extraction now. And she begins to rustle through Monica. She begins to rustle through your cloaks and through your pockets, and grabs what looks like a charge, a grenade, and she begins to punch the ground, and everyone said, and then and she says, "This is all I got."
Oh shit!
Do I have your permission?
Yes, make it so. No, don't. No, we're not gonna die. Mason, make it so.
Can I try one last thing? I'm just going to shout at the shadowy figure in the most commanding voice I can muster. Be gone! Just see if I can make it
I'm going to say nothing happens.
Oh, worth a try.
Father was very upset with you. You can see she takes her hand and around the grenade, pushes it down into the edge of the hallway, and there's an explosion, and then a bit of the ground falls away. She lifts what's left of her arm. It's like this metallic chunk just broken off at the shoulder. Oof. And you can see the other soldiers just begin to pound at the floor, trying to get what appears to be down one level. The door, and this happens just as the door breaks on the other end of the cafeteria, and there's a woman there. She's not very womanly at the moment, looking more tentacle than anything else. And she touches the wall, and the tentacles begin to slither and creep along, pushing their way down. The soldiers begin to grab Mr. Clifford and kind of just forcibly push their way down, the way only people who are completely made of metal and are completely aware of it would be able to. Through insulation, through panels, you fall down into what looks like a data center. It looks like just rows and rows of computers. You've broken through the panels, and you're about 20 feet off the ground at the moment. You can hear the soldiers some of the soldiers have basically set up a perimeter up there. And you are technically in another room, the very center of another room.
So I've got the shadow guy on one side and the tentacle one on the other side, and the hole next to me basically at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just going to look either side, look to Monica and sort of like, let's go down here,
right,
and then jump down and say, let them fight. And
let's see. So you jump down, Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to land on someone squishy.
There's only one person.
That's only Daniel.
Yeah, that's the squishy dogman.
He feels really warm. On him. He feels oddly warm. And but the room, as soon as you enter, is practically freezing cold. The ventilation in a data center is meant to keep many computers cold, and this place, as soon as you enter, there is a quiet. The gunfire from above is gone. You don't hear it anymore. Daniel, this is bliss. It sounds complete. It sounds so quiet. And you are it seems very cold here. Let's see. I think we're getting close to our ending time.
Yeah. So are there any extra doors in this room?
You are sort of in the middle of this corridor. This data center. There are, from above, you were able to see there's just rows and rows and rows. This place is huge. It's like you're kind of in the middle of something about the size of a football field.
Damn.
That is big. So are they just like server stacks, or are there actually anything we can actually access?
You can access. Let's see, service ducts. Have you? Let's see. There is a catwalk above, inside, but like down on the floor. It's very. It is. You were able to see. Not a whole lot. There's a lot of frost, like a cloud, like covering the floor, which is indicative of how cold it is in this place. But it's just very quiet in this room. You can see the soldiers. They're saying something, but you can't. It's barely a whisper. It's almost a whisper, even to your ears, and you don't hear anything. It's very quiet. What would you like to do?
My soldiers, are they still upstairs?
Some of them.
Okay. I was
you're
going to
getting a
actually
sense
tell them
that-
to block the hole.
You hear, like, when you speak, you don't seem to be able to say anything, but they get the idea, and you can see that they're basically making like a last stand, kind of trying.
Oh, that's very disconcerting. Oh no.
There's literally no sound here at all, not even amongst ourselves.
Not even amongst yourselves.
Not even. Is there any sound, like even just from like if I like tap my foot on the floor? Is there a sound from that?
It's barely audible to you. It's like you're hearing it through your body. It's the only reason you're hearing it.
That's very worrying, but I can't express that. Which is even more worrying. Do we see like a side of the room anywhere? Like, or is that out of view at the minute?
There is definitely a side to the walls of this place. You can see. Give me a perception.
Let's have a look. So what is my perception?
There's no like
So,
luminescent
24.
exit signs.
No, not in this place. This room is meant to be kept clean. They had to force their way with explosives to get into this place. 24?
Yeah.
Oh, so close. I'll tell you what you do see.
Yeah.
You can see there's more of those strange markings at the walls. They are they're larger here. You'd have to get, but you can't. It doesn't look like words. They look elongated.
I'm going to take a picture of the weird things on the wall.
Okay. You aim your photo at your camera at the wall, and then click, and the photo comes out, and you notice. Let's see, Daniel, as she does this, the photo's developing. Where she had aimed the light, you can see the cloud, the mist, the mist of clouds at the base where the data terminals are begins to accumulate below you.
Intriguing. Right. Missed it. So it's sort of literally getting thicker below me specifically, or below everyone.
As the light flashed from her camera, it seemed to have reacted to that.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Just do it again. See what happens. But you can't hear me, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to. Do I have like? I've got like enhanced senses, but do I have it like enhanced smell as well?
You do.
Okay, can I go over and sniff the strange wall marking?
Okay, give me an investigation.
An investigation. Okay.
Let's see.
16.
16. It definitely smells like partially blood, partially some other liquid. You're seeing things differently here. It doesn't make sense to you. Like you're not seeing with eyes anymore, and it looks the markings look strange. And as Monica is holding the photo, you're looking at it. the markings seem different through the photo. Why did I pronounce it like that? Through the photo. Give me a wisdom save.
Me,
Oh
sorry.
boy, that's
Excuse
for
me, not
me.
wisdom save. That's D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Will save?
Give me another will save.
Okay, that's for Monica, right?
Mhm.
Not as good. That's an 11.
You look at it and you don't realize that you're walking forward towards the edge of the catwalk and looking down where like the wall where it would go flush with the wall. And you don't even Daniel, you see her walking away. Clifford, you're just yelling at everyone, but the words don't really come out. And you look off at the distance, down at these down the catwalk. And you kind of press your head. There's something strange about this photo you're looking at, and you push your head against the wall, and it's like, you know how if you look at something from the right angle, it suddenly makes more sense
Mhm.
because it's like an optical illusion. Like these words, they are words you're realizing, and you're seeing them as you get closer and closer and closer. It says in English writing, "Don't look at the walls."
Okay, I stop looking at the walls.
And you notice this just as Monica's ears begin to smoke.
I go and try and barge her so she's not looking at the walls.
I'm looking at a picture of the walls, technically.
Okay.
You were, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
In this case,
Weeping angels nonsense.
Right?
let's see. I'm wrapping this up right now.
Yeah.
Monica becomes her body falls down to her knees, and like what would be blood is sparks. Fire is just erupting out of her ears and her eyes and her mouth. It is a horrible sight to look at, which would be something that you wouldn't be too happy to understand, which isn't something that you would bother with at the moment, Daniel, as a strange thing with hands, hundreds of hands, works its way out of the clouds, grabbing the catwalk and pulling it down to the base of the down from the ceiling. It is huge, and it has it's just hands and flesh and markings, runes on all across its body. And the last thing you remember is the sound of the barely audible sound of the catwalk breaking as it falls down into the to the base of the data center. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to leave you guys.
No.
We didn't progress as fast as I thought we could have, but this is a very this has been a very realistic view of what things are like in the SCP universe, and following a story. If you guys would like to follow this one, it's called "What Happened to Site 13." This is my interpretation, hodgepodging, mixing with a little bit of Dr. Wondertainment, where imagine a very creepy Willy Wonka who makes anomalous things that turn people into monsters. So that has been this has been our game for Mutants and Masterminds, very light, very Mutants and Masterminds light. I hope you guys had fun. I am Stylus. You have what do you call it? You can catch me at Hey Laughing Boy on the Twitters, and you can catch all of my other projects like Ethernautica at ethernauticapodcast.com, and all of my other podcasts at Novelty Stylus on the SoundCloud. Also with me has been Kim.
Hey, I was playing Monica Peters. You can find me on Twitter at MOS_tricks, playing tricks on the Misfits of Space podcast, and has all sorts of crazy mofos on on the Redacted Files podcast.
Also with us has been Patrick.
I was playing Clifford Banks today in a couple different voices here. The multiple personality. You can find me at Professor PFM on the Twitters, but you can also find me as a dungeon master at Misfits Guide to Adventuring, or Misfits_guide on the Twitters.
And last but not least has been Alex.
Hi, I have been playing Daniel Humboldt, and I am at Alex J Holt on Twitter, and mostly talk about Dungeons and Dragons and nature and stuff. So catch me there if you want.
All right, thank you guys for joining, and please donate kindly to Geeks of Grandeur, or Geeks for Grandeur. Geeks, link below.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thanks
night.
for running for a stylist.
Thanks for running.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It was
you.
a lot
Thank
of
you for
fun.
playing.
Yep.